Right, so we're in Fleetwood. As you can tell by my demeanour, it's not exactly the most exhilarating place on the planet, no offence. We've just got team news through, pretty much as expected. We've got the 3 at the back, 5 at the back. I suppose it depends on which game it is. Sometimes it looks like a 3, sometimes it looks like a 5. And with Matt, what do you think of the lineup expected?
Well, yeah, predictable. I mean, it's more like 7 at the back, isn't it? Like, I think with Parkinson, he's thought, we'll play that team against Doncaster, surely it means we'll win again. You know, he just hasn't got a plan. Like, we'll come to teams like this and you're setting up like that, it's like, come on. Like,
come back up from a 5-0 win, you're going to have egg on your face in this pod.
Well, exactly. Like,
I've had egg on my face for the Doncaster game, to be fair.
Even stuff like Bolton at home, like you're playing with essentially 7 defenders. Like,
yeah,
we need someone that's going to lift the place. You know, I mean, even when like Parkinson just speaks, he's just this complete sap, isn't he? Like, how does he motivate any of those players? Like,
I mean, don't get us wrong. Like, I really hope it changes. Like after the match, I hope, like, obviously you listen back to it and you go like, oh, what we're talking about, he's picked the winning team, we've won again, it's working, but you just feel constantly it's not going to, is it?
You're doing that podcast?
I'm just doing it right now.
You're on it.
Listening for free. I've just clicked on your voice.
Oh, it's my voice. No, we're doing.
Oh,
What do you think of the lineup?
I've been listening to your podcast.
Well, you can be on it if you want. What do you think of the lineup? 5 at the back.
What can you say about 5 at the back?
Shite again, innit?
Exactly.
But if we win, do you keep 5 at the back or do you still change it? Say if we win 2 in a row, right? Do you keep it or do you change it?
He's not up us. He's going to keep it anyway, isn't he? Whether we like it or not.
No.
Actually, but then again, fresh from the news that Stuart wants to sell the club, not that he's been trying to do it for the past year, I don't think, allegedly. Where does that leave Parkinson?
I don't think it makes a difference. Like, it would have been freebies and loans anyway, I think.
I think there's rumours of that lad from Bristol City. Has anyone heard of him or know what he does?
No.
I've heard it was...
My young'un was on about him, right? But he's all I know, he's 19-year-old.
Is he 19?
I think I heard
that's all I know about him.
It's like he wants a loan deal for a month or something. Like,
a month?
That's what I heard, but whether it's true or not.
What's the point with a month? I mean, we're in January now. Obviously, it's a new year. Oh, happy New Year, everyone listening, by the way. But now that we're in the new year, I suppose it is that time when you're looking at players, and apparently he's got players marked up. And Stuart Donald said it's not going to make any difference.
Ben Annick. Like, what's the point?
Maybe he's the pacey winger. I've seen some videos of him where he's improved, not that one that you're thinking of. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to be bringing in a keeper in when you've got 2 reliable goalkeepers. It's still, to me, just who's this fast, pacey midfielder we're going to bring in the middle that we're desperate for.
That's where we're light, though.
And we're just so light in midfield. I mean, everyone knows I'm a big George Dobson fan, but I don't know if that's his playing ability or just like his hair
as well. You know,
yeah.
Well, that's probably the only thing that's worth liking about Dobson, I think. But you know.
But then could it be Marcus Madison month again, isn't it? I mean, he's never going to sign for Sunderland in a month of Sundays. He's never going to sign for us.
I heard that he's in talks with Borough, but whether that's true or not, I don't know.
As long as there's a hole in his arse, he will never sign for Sunderland. Not because he doesn't want to, just because it's not going to happen. Like, but you know, like
they'll be asking money for him as well. To be fair.
Oh, I think it's a 2.5 million one for him.
We haven't got it.
And we'll put in a cheeky loan bid and see if we can get him on a free at the end of the season.
I mean, I want
it is silly season after all.
I want Parkinson to be a success, but I just cannot see it.
So do I, and you know what? I said, obviously, just off air, just before recording this, the best thing for me, truth be told, is to have total egg on my face about Parkinson and get it completely wrong, and for the 5 at the back to work and us to storm up the league and have a Roy Keane second half of the season like 2007, 2008, but it just doesn't feel like, even if he wins 9 in a row, it's going to matter.
Isn't it? Everybody's got like
New Year resolution.
Yeah. And you're expecting a bit, you know.
Well, what would Parky's New Year resolution be?
Oh my God. I wouldn't even want to go there.
Look happier.
Well, I couldn't imagine.
Look like you're pleased to be here. But we'll come back at half time and we'll reassess. Hopefully we're winning. Were we winning against Doncaster? No, we were drawn, weren't we? Well, hopefully, you know, when we're driving back from the wonderful Fleetwood town, we're celebrating 3 points and we've got I was going to say egg on our faces, but being in Fleetwood would be fish in our faces instead, cod in our faces. But thanks very much, lads. Cheers. 20 minutes before kick-off, and it's very League One. Matt, how League One is this?
It's up there.
Scale of 1 to 10?
It's like in a housing estate, so...
You literally have to, like, so we've just gone past the home end, and you've got to walk around, like, a load of, well, they're lovely nice houses, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean...
Decent enough, aren't they?
You'd think it's like the front of a stadium, but it's like a row of houses.
Have you ever been to Luton when you've got to walk through houses?
I haven't. I've seen that, though. That's like the pinnacle.
It's like... Do you remember when it was novelty? Last year, when League One was dead novelty. It was like, oh, get to walk through houses. But then them teams are getting promoted and we're not.
I think we're still selling out. Like,
yeah, still selling out.
Worn off, but like we're still here.
We're saying the novelty's worn off and we're taking 4,000 down to Doncaster. When, let's be honest, we're utter shit. Or were at least utter shit at that point. I'm sorry if this is sounding massively depressing, by the way. And we are actually going to end up winning the game. If not, perfect. No apologies made whatsoever. But yeah, I just thought we'd check in and let you know what it looks like around Fleetwood, just in case you were interested, which you might be. You might not be, but I think we said in the last little snippet we did, we'll catch it at half time, and we've came back a little bit too soon. But Highbury chippy,
delicious.
There's a lot of fish here. We went into a place called Joe's Bar, which is basically the only bar that exists.
And it stunk of fish.
And it stunk of fish. Yeah.
A wall of fish.
Basically, it's a town of fish. The Fisherman is the nickname.
Is it
the Cod Army.
Cod Army? Oh,
the Cod Army.
Imagine losing the Cod Army.
Well, we've done it recently. Fingers crossed we don't. Speak to you soon. So, said I was going to be back at half time. I wasn't. Sort of forgot. So, I was kind of angry. So, just me and Matt, because I've got knee mates, apart from Matt, obviously, big mate. We'll cover through, I suppose, what we thought of the game. I think we'll start off, with the first obvious massive talking point, that penalty. I think everyone's probably seen the replay by now, but Matt, that was never a pen, was it?
It was, if anything, it was all the way around. Like, their player just like barging our play, and he like blew a penalty for them. So, like, it's just the standard of refereeing in this league. It's absolutely pathetic.
It's so bad. Like, the standard of refereeing at this level, it gets like ridiculous. Though, like, I watched the replay back on Twitter just like at half time, hence why I didn't record, because I was a bit raging about it. And like, I think it's Harry Suter, the big lad at the back.
Massive. Yeah.
He proper tank, and he guns down like a sack of shit. Yet he's the one that actually like bumped into Charlie Wyke. I mean, it was like, I couldn't quite decide what he'd given it for. I was like, right, has there maybe been like a stray shirt pull or something like that?
Oh, was it that Suter that won the penalty?
I think so. It was some big lad, aye. But like, I couldn't really name their team, to be honest with you, which I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Probably a bad thing, but I mean, they had absolutely nought about them, Fleetwood, first half.
Yeah,
like,
it was exactly what I expected, to be honest. Just a flat, negative performance. Like, we just had nothing. Like, what's the point in having a midfield? Like, you got Power in there. Like, I mean,
Power, like, a few times just didn't release it when he should have done. I mean, to be fair though, I thought we were better second half, but like, you can't be missing chances that we were missing, can you?
Yeah, I mean, with Parkinson's style of play, like, we're bypassing midfield anyway. But like, when we do get to the midfield, we've got Dobson. I know you're a big fan of that. Like,
I'm a fan of his hair.
Like,
I don't know whether I really rate him as a player as yet. Sorry, Double.
Honestly,
sorry.
The lad's terrible. He's just...
Yeah, there's a few people around me who weren't too happy with him.
like a positive attribute that he's got, you know.
I mean, maybe I'm slightly biased, but I think he's got room to grow. But like, again though, on the flip side, and I said this first half, I said, you know, you've got Dobson and Power in there that really aren't what we need, but they're the best that we've got. Because if you replace that, you've got Ledbetter. And I mean,
as much as I love Ledbetter, he's finished now. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, when you play Ledbetter in the back five as well, you're playing with the back six straight away, because he's just so deep. He almost plays like a centre half. I think when we brought him in, he was meant to be like almost an extra centre half, wasn't he, at the time, alongside what would have been Baldwin and Flanagan. But I mean, I'll give the lads credit where credit's due. I thought, second half, we had a right go at it, and I think the minimum any of us ask for. And
sound like Phil Parkinson, right?
I think the minimum that I'd ask for from the lads is just a bit of effort and just having a bloody go. And I suppose for the first time in weeks, I was at a second half there where I can't exactly say I was like enthused. I wasn't like bouncing. It certainly wasn't the Doncaster result or anything like we've seen last season or in years gone by. But I suppose I could get my teeth into it, if that makes sense. Like the players wanted the ball. Like a few of the lads were like going for it.
I mean, I think Denver Hume did pretty well.
You know what? Absolutely massive word for Denver Hume.
He was trying to do something, like a couple of times, like the way he took the ball down, like turning defender and crossed it in. Like that bit of quality. He's getting better.
He was our best player, wasn't he, Denver Hume? I thought. I think the way he was bringing the ball down, like from like the long balls. But then for every Denver Hume performance, you've got like a Joe Lynch performance. Like, I lost count how many times he just like launched it.
I know.
And he just launched it to nowhere. And that header at the back, I mean, I don't know if anyone was watching the stream or obviously people who were at the match.
Is that when he had time? It was all
Yeah, that was Lynch. Yeah. Basically the ball, big long ball down the pitch for the people who haven't seen it. Easy enough for like McLaughlin to go and get it or just let it go out of play. And for some reason Joe Lynch decided to put his head on it, not communicate with his goalkeeper at all. McLaughlin desperately tried to get hold of it because he's not expecting it, as you wouldn't, and he puts it out of play. And the thing is with players like Joe Lynch, it's not like you can say what you can say with Dobson where you go, he's 21, 22. Like Lynch is like 32, he's not going to get any better.
I know.
He's not going to improve.
There's a lot to be concerned about, I think. Like at this
Still,
rate,
isn't there?
I just cannot see us getting anywhere near the playoffs. Like,
It's again, and I'll go back to what I said after the Bolton game. I think it was like it's the kind of performance where you'd be at best a little bit miffed with that under Jack Ross, under Parkinson. You're kind of like, that was okay. That happened
after everything. Like we'll get a win at Doncaster. It's like we're actually going to turn the corner. No, it's just back to the same shite,
And I feel like Parkinson will probably come out after that as well. And I mean, obviously, you'll probably hear his presser by now, by the time this has gone out. But I feel like Parkinson will be like, well, the lads responded really well to an unfair penalty decision, which is in effect truth. But like, there was times last year when we'd sometimes go 1-0 down, like Bristol Rovers, I think, at home, and we'd just turn it because we had someone who could bang the ball in the back of the net, like Josh Madger. And ever since we've lost Madger, to be honest with you, we don't look capable of turning like a 1-0 down into a win.
That's what I thought. Like I thought when we got that penalty against us, I was like, you know what, that isn't really Phil Parkinson's fault that's happened.
Yeah.
But then as the game panned out, it's just like, it's just dross. That's all it is.
But how long did it take him as well, like for Parkinson to decide to stop going with 5 at the back? And he never once actually took a centre half off. Like I was doing my nutting because I wanted a centre half off. I thought put someone up front. And he brought McNulty on, but he took off Dobson. So I think he went like Maguire and Power in the middle, or maybe he pushed a 9 up. I mean, to me, I just didn't see centre half coming off, and we still looked like we had that kind of back 3, back 5 going on, which is just. I know you've got to keep a winning team. I get that, but 5 at the back, it's silly.
When you get promoted, we're not like, we're not defending anything. We're not like.
It's pivotal. It's absolutely pivotal this season that we go. Well, it was pivotal. Pivotal.
That's a word.
Aye, that's a word. Aye. It was and is pivotal that we go up, but I just don't think we will. We look like a team that's 13th in League One. That looks about our level.
Yeah. Today it was like just 2 shit teams, I think, and I think. Yeah, I think they were equally as shit, to be honest.
Yeah, they were absolute waffle. They were rubbish, and I think, I mean, it wasn't the Gillingham performance, and it wasn't the Burton performance, but is that really the marker? Because, I mean, I'm saying we played a little bit better in the second half, but I don't know whether you've seen it, but people became that disinterested second half. And this is like 20 minutes to go when we were actually doing not that bad and giving it a go. People started like shouting at Will Grigg and just having a bit of banter with Will Grigg.
Yeah, I did see that. Like, I mean, I was in the seated end, and I came out in the second half, like away day, sat down with a cup of coffee. Like, it's just mental. Like, just how not arsed like everyone is.
There's this lad singing. I think he was drunk, and I don't think he was drunk. He was pissed the fart. There was no thing about that, to be honest. But he was trying to get everyone going, and he was like, "Oh, you call yourselves fans," but people weren't really necessarily angry. No one really booed or had a go or really got annoyed. People were just a bit like, "Oh."
It's just like apathy, isn't it?
We've played all right. The lads have played, probably put a bit of effort in. They've given it a go, but I think a big thing I would say about it, maybe to be fair to the lads who have put a shift in today, I think there just isn't the quality there. Charlie White does not look like he'll get 10 goals, let alone 20.
I know, I mean, he has done it before, but like, I don't know. I like McNulty. I think McNulty's got a bit of
I like McNulty. Yeah.
Why isn't he starting?
Came on the pitch and had a chance straight away, didn't he? And it was all like self-made with McNulty. And I'm not saying he's the next coming of Jesus Christ, don't get me wrong, but like, when he's played, like, he's done well, McNulty. He hasn't set the world alight, but then again, neither's Will Grigg and Charlie White's. I feel like we're just waiting for Charlie White to do something, but he plays half the game with the back of his goal, and for such a big lad, he's quite weak.
I mean, he hit the post, didn't he? Header?
He did, yeah, he did. So he did. I forgot about that. But
like, it was a rocket of a header, that, like, Jesus.
It was a good cross in. I mean, again, I'll give Lyndon Gooch something. We looked like we had a bit of spark with Gucci playing again. I think I've been very much. Have we lost our car? I think we might have lost our car. So this might be a longer than expected pod, lads and lasses. Oh, and the firework gone off, but it actually hasn't gone off. There you go. But I think Lyndon Gooch has probably had quite a bit of jip this year. I think we've holding on to it too long, but we have, haven't we?
We have missed him. Like, in the past, I've slated him a bit, for like being selfish and that, but
and he definitely is.
Yeah, but we need someone direct, just to make things happen.
Sometimes I think I watched the game today, when, bearing in mind we were losing 1-0 and we're getting closer, and O'Nien just missed that chance, and I just thought, I wish we just had someone who had that like little bit of magic that could just change a game when he fancies it. Someone like Aidan McGeady, maybe. Yeah. someone who might just be like still already here. But again, you know what? It's. I'm a bit tired of being like, they're putting effort in and they had a go and stuff like. That's pretty much the bare minimum. We need results, and there's just not enough wins.
Like, I'm just not happy about it, really, to be honest. Like, people like clapping at the end. I was just thinking, why? I know it's like,
you want to have something, don't you? And you want to be like thanked for like trying, and we can see you put the effort in, and you were a bit hamstrung by that. But it's like, realistically, I think if we hadn't got the penalty, we would have never scored. I said I don't think we'll score in a month of Sundays, and then the penalty came, and obviously we did. There's a talking point for you, by the way. Why did Lyndon Gooch not take the penalty? Why does he always have the penalties taken off him when Gucci rarely misses?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Not that I care, I don't give a shite who takes them as long as they put them in the back of the net, but it's like McGeady just took them off him for a bit. Will Grigg took one off him last year, I think. And now Maguire's stepping up to take them. Not that it matters. If we get into the back of the net again, it doesn't really matter. I'm just quite surprised Gucci didn't take it. Did Gucci win the penalty?
Watmore, wasn't it?
Was it Watmore that won the penalty? I didn't notice he was on, to be honest with you, until about 5 minutes after the goal. And he's quite an obvious looking guy to miss with his flame hair and all that.
He's his typical self, really, just
running down in there,
sort of thing.
Yeah, I think I like Duncan Watmore a lot. I do, but I think
sometimes he forgets what his feet's doing.
Yeah, a little bit, and there's not a great deal of space in this league for him to stretch his legs. If that makes sense, it's kind of quite tight and nitty, and there's a load of just I can't really describe it. Again, that just describes the performance, doesn't it? That's like that is the performance. But that's kind of our review of sorts. Not sure how comfortable I feel having an immediate reaction because I probably talk a lot of shite. It's much better when I have time to actually think about what I'm saying. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. It was another battling performance, but it wasn't a win. So I guess it depends which way you look at it. Is it a point that we've built on in a tough away game against a side who's done well this season in League One with 2 home games coming up? Is it 2 points drops with the chances that we had, or is it just another one of those results where you just think meh? But yeah, Happy New Year everyone. Thanks for tuning in again as always. I'll see you at Lincoln.